Hello, everyone, and welcome to the void between reality and the land of HECKEN nerds. My name is Brian, aka He of the Void, and today we are going to be taking a look at three figures from the NECA Gargoyles line: the Steel Clan robot, Bronx, and Goliath. These are my three gargoyle figures that I currently own, and see, I'm a 90s child. I am the quintessential 90s child, born 91. And one of the best things of the 90s, two of the best things of the 90s, Saturday morning cartoons and after school blocks. And Disney had one heck of an after school cartoon block. And one of the seminal pieces of that block, in my opinion, was the Gargoyles. So when NECA announced that they had gotten the rights to Gargoyles and were going to produce some Gargoyle toys, starting with Goliath here, I absolutely had to have some of them. I at least had to have Goliath, who we will start with today. We're just going to go ahead and pull these guys off for now because, as you can see, they take up a lot of real estate, as we see with Goliath. And yeah, there's a reason I immediately pre-ordered this figure, and I was not disappointed when this figure came in, because it is basically perfect. I have one real nitpick. Otherwise, it's fantastic. So right off the bat, you can see just the cell shading. NECA does cell shading on toys really better than any other toy company. And it really shows on this figure. He has what Jobby the Hong calls the Roger Rabbit effect, in which it feels like he just stepped off the screen. He feels like a cartoon come to life. So first of all, we will give you a look at that mug. Well, one of two mugs, actually, because he does come with a second mug. And yeah, it's just Gargoyles. It's just Goliath's face, isn't it? Like, you can just hear the voice of Keith David coming out of this figure. Okay, listen. For those of you who are expecting me to somehow have the voice of Keith David in this video, I need you to understand that I lay somewhere between Dollar Store Bolt Matrix and Temu Emgo 316. If you honestly think that I have the money, talent, editing skills, and reach to get Keith David to be in this video, first of all, I appreciate your faith in me. Second of all, no, I do not have that ability to do a Jobby the Hong ripoff. That being said, this figure is amazing. He does have a little bit of problem standing up on his own, though, which is actually, I have two nitpicks on the figure. That is one of them, that he does have a little bit of trouble standing up because the tail doesn't really have the strength to hold him up, hence why I have just a NECA action stand. Before we get into posability, the other complaint I have, even though I love that they did not skimp on these wings, they could have easily skimped on the wings and made them a lot smaller. That one likes to flop around for some reason. There we go. The wings basically make him impossible to display him on a shelf among other figures. He kind of, with his wings like this, kind of has to be on his own shelf, which is unfortunate, but again, does not stop me from loving this figure, especially with how posable this figure is. Head is on a ball joint. Shoulders are on a hinge. Swivel at the bicep. Hinge, or double, is it a double? Yeah, it is a double elbow. Double elbow. And apologies for the wings flopping everywhere. They do have a tendency to do that. And then the wrist is on a ball joint. Actually, no, it's more of a swivel at the wrist. It just kind of looks like a ball joint to me. He can do the spreads because the hips are actually on a ball joint. A double knee joint. no, kind of a calf swivel, and a hinge at the foot, and then a hinge at the toe. So I want to give you a quick look at the, as his head flies right off. That will come in handy in a moment, but I want to give you a look at one of the wings. You can tell that these wings are not just regular old plastic. They are very well sculpted. I don't know how well you can tell the texturing, but when you feel the texturing on this, it does feel like there's membrane, sort of like a bat's wing. The one concern I have with these is the hinge. This hinge is very, very tight. And I do worry about over time if this will break, because these wings, and they attach. By the way, the wings and the tail came unattached, just so it could fit in the box, and they do connect like that. They are heavy, so they will sag a little bit. I'm just gonna put him back on the base for a second, so you can see the alt head. So he does come with a number of accessories, which I will display. He comes with some alternate hands. He only comes with one grabby hand, which is kind of weird, that only the right arm. He has he has an open hand and two fists. And then he comes with this, oh my God, look at this face, that roaring face. I do wish his eyes were painted a little better, but focus. There you go. Yeah, and it's great. And it just fits on that ball joint, although getting it on is a little harder than I wish, or that I would like. And he comes with two accessories he can hold. He has a jalapeno, because I think there was like a scene in the cartoon where he was like munching on jalapenos and talking about heat or something like that. And he comes with this little book, because Goliath is an intellectual, and he does like a good book, which is something we have in common. And you can just, sometimes it is a little hard to get it in and to get it to stay in his hand, but he does have the ability to hold the book. The jalapeno, on the other hand, is a little hard to get it in and to keep it in, because it will just kind of fall out. And to change his hands, of course, you just pull that out and put that in. So, a lot of people, so very posable, by the way, very posable. Accessories are really cool. Love the alternate head. But let's talk again about the elephant in the room. The wings. A lot of people had a problem with the wings, myself included, not because they skimped on the wings. They did not have to make these wings as big as they did, and I love that they made these so that it really, really looks imposing. But they didn't have a way for the wings to fold down and stay attached to the back, which was what a lot of people complained, because as big as the wings are, it makes it very hard to put him on a shelf with other figures. We really did wish that they had put in collapsible wings or closed wings. The one thing I will knock NECA on is that they did make the closed wings, but you did, and this is the reason why I have Bronx, as Goliath's head falls off once again. One moment, please. I'll just put the other head back on. There we go. He does come... Actually, no, I have to take the head off to get one thing on. Bronx came with these. Bronx came with closed wings for Goliath. Now, I think that's a little scummy. I think that with the price you were paying for Goliath, which was about $34, $35 with tax and whatnot. I really do think these should have come with the standard, or with the release of Goliath. And it's the other thing, the reason why I haven't gotten some of the other Gargoyles, because they didn't even make closed wings for some of the other Gargoyles. They did for Desdemona, but those again came with another figure. I honestly feel for the price we're paying, and I'd even be willing to pay just a little more to have this with the actual figure. But Bronx is cool on his own right. You know, we like Bronx in this house. I'm just going to move this up a little bit and then just tilt that. And yeah, Bronx is pretty cool. He's sort of the dog gargoyle, like the pet of Goliath and his friends. And if you can get a look here, that is a great face. And this particular head opens up. He does come with another head. And the reason this mouth opens up is because he comes with a slab of meat. Kind of looks more like a piece of tree or like a piece of wood, but that can go in his mouth. Obviously, he doesn't really need to stand because he's on all fours and he doesn't really, you know, stand all the way up. You kind of can get him like if he was attacking like that, if he was leaping at someone. But he is a dog, basically. So he does dog things, and dogs like to be on all fours. So as for posability, he has a ball joint at the head. His neck is sort of one big ball joint that can move around. Goliath has the waist swivel. I forgot the waist swivel. Jobby the Hong screams at me. No waist swivel, no waist articulation. The legs, both set of legs are on ball joints, and then hinge at the knee, and then hinge at the foot, and then some toe articulation. And that's the same on all four legs. Like I said, he does come with another head, which you can just pop off like that. And this is actually what's called a dumbbell joint. So it's sort of like a double ball joint, which gives him some more room to pose his head. So the head and the neck are very posable, and the other head is, if it will just stay on. Come on, Bronx. There you go. And there's this really good roaring head that looks so good. So, Bronx, yeah, gets a good figure, but the reason you're buying this figure is because you've already bought Goliath and you want the closed wings so you can display him on a shelf with other figures. So in order to really get a displayable Goliath to go with the rest of your NECAs or whatever, you do have to buy a figure, and this was the same price as Goliath if memory serves, which kind of scummy, NECA, I'm not gonna lie to you, but we will bring Goliath over again, headless Goliath, and we will need to bring this up again and just tilt that back. So to get the wings on, you're going to obviously take the wings off, and just to give you a scale of how big the wings are, like they are bigger than the figure. So we'll take those away real quick and put them over here. Then we'll bring in the closed wings. My complaint with the closed wings, I was really expecting the same sort of material as the other wings, just with the ability to hinge down or just already just folded up. This is, I don't know how well you can tell, this is just soft rubbery plastic, which in my opinion kind of sucks. So to get it on, you'll see these two pegs here where my thumbs are. Right there. And then this will just slot over his head. And then it does take some finagling but you can get them into the holes where the other wings were. And then you can put his head back on. And there you have him with his closed wings. And that's a really cool look. And it allows you to display it with other figures without having to finagle the wings around. So yeah, these guys are really cool. If you're going to get Goliath, go ahead and get Bronx so you can get the closed wings. So now we're going to move on to the Steel Clan robot, which is, what is it, Xanatos or Xanathos, or the evil bad guy. The evil bad guy. Bad guy assumes evil, Brian. But this is his drones. These are the Steel Clan robots that he created basically to take on the Gargoyles. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's honestly pretty cool. He's a little sturdier, which is why on his feet. The feet are a lot bigger, so this is why I could just get away with one of these little black stands. The wings and the tail obviously are the same as Goliath, and they come detached. Same general posability as Goliath, but this one has a lot better waist articulation. As you can see, he can crunch, he can move back, and all of that goodness. He can do the splits, he can kick, all of that stuff. The one thing with the shoulders, obviously, you know, you're going to run into the wings back here, and then these shoulder pads are just on hinges so you can move his arm out a little better. Let's go ahead and give you a look at this really cool head sculpt. This robotic Goliath head sculpt, which I love. And by the way, there is another repaint of this figure as Armored Xanatos in his, you know, Goliath gargoyle armor. So that is a really cool head. It does not come with a different head, but good Lord, does it come with a lot of accessories. Oh, and right now, this I like. These wings actually fold on their own, and then you can fold them all the way out. And like Goliath, this is about a foot-long wing spread, which I very much do like. So, and like I said, the wings do collapse, so it makes him a little bit easier to display. One thing with this figure that you need to be aware of, if it looks sharp, it is sharp. It is very sharp. And I did cut myself on one of the claws. So we'll go ahead and get into the accessories. You can see he does come with quite a bit, and I will show you each of them and how they work. He comes with these these arm-mounted guns, and I will show you that in a moment. He comes with some effect parts, so some blast effects. Show you these. And then he comes with quite a number of hands. He comes with open hands, grabby hands, and closed fists. And again, it's just as simple as pulling that off and sliding that in, but I will leave that off for a second just so I can easily get these off, these panels. He says easily, but they do not want to come off all that easily. I usually don't even have these on. I just put these on to show the gimmick, sort of. And then you can take the guns and plug those into the arm so it looks like he is shooting. And then we'll just put the... I have the right fist? Yeah, I did. Did I? Yeah. You can put the fist in there. And the same on the other side. I actually left that one looser. And you can have him with his fists, or with his guns on, which I do like. Now, when it comes to the effect parts, First of all, you have this. So if you go to the back of the figure, you'll see this little jetpack, and then that can plug in like so. So it gives him the look of flying. Now with the two little ones, that fell off. 1 second, folks. There you go. With the little ones, I originally thought that these would be on the guns, but they do not peg, as I drop it, do not peg in on the guns. They do, however, peg in on these holes in the feet. Now, this is basically to get him flying. I do not have a stand that can hold up this figure because this is a very hefty figure. Minor gripe, but oh well, I would have liked to have them on these. So yeah, there's the Steel City robot, or Steel City, Steel Clan. Then we'll bring back in Goliath, and we'll bring in Bronx. And yeah, I really like these figures. I think they are great figures. Like I said, the one problem I have is I think it's kind of scummy to buy another figure to get the closed wings for Goliath. I think that's just a little bit scummy. But yeah, there you go. There's the NECA Gargoyles Steel Clan robot, Bronx, and Goliath. And I am asking you to like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out my links in the description for all the places you can find me and support me. And until next time, remember, growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. Be curious, be playful, and above all else, be kind. And I will see you next time.